It looked different on everybody's screen. I want you to know that.
Oh, fair. Fair. Okay, I don't want to be in my
She actually is in the middle.
Oh, on the screen, I am actually.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what's
what?
crazy? I
Wait.
can move people in the middle you can shuffle people around, as a matter of
Yeah, I
fact.
just moved myself. I didn't know that.
That's really funny. Okay, we are live.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don,
I'm Jamae.
I'm Jay Trent.
and today we have two very, very, very special guests, Kelsey and Siobhan. Kelsey is a former WNBA player. She has played with all of your favorite players in our research. Lord knows the list of people you have played with is extensive, and we gonna go over that too. And Siobhan is a former college player and absolutely one of my favorite basketball analysts on the timeline. She is very level-headed, very like as far as breaking the game down, even outside of like WNBA, when the NBA season starts, like just watching her be like, "Oh, this works because this DHO action," or like, "Watch how they move." It's like your mind, girl, your mind.
Appreciate you. Got to give me my overseas credit.
There you
I
go.
ain't touched the dub. You got just
Talk about it.
Overseas, you can tell everybody where you played, how it was, but yes, overseas, y'all don't
no. I
understand.
appreciate you.
Getting that overseas job is hard. So we appreciate you both. Would you like to tell the people a little blurbs about yourselves?
Well,
Big dog.
like everyone has said, I'm Kelsey. I was drafted in the WNBA in 2013. I was the fifth pick. I played in New York for a year, was traded, played in Connecticut for 2.5 years, followed that up with a year in Phoenix, a year in Vegas, and now I am about a month away from starting my 12th year internationally. I'm headed to Turkey this season, and I'll be playing in the Turkish Basketball League. So just been playing this game my whole life and there's not a level that I haven't played. So I find myself enjoying some of the newness that the game is experiencing. And so that's why I'm here today.
Dope. Not all the way touching that. No. Yes, high school, college, 3 seasons at LaSalle. Was there for 4. Redshirted my freshman year. Transferred back home, 5th year at Norfolk State. From Norfolk State, hit Australia, Cyprus, and Lebanon. Came back home in 2019, and it kind of just have been stateside doing the digital things that you that you see me doing today. Never touched a W court competitively, but I think I know a little something, and I did a little something, kind of back when I was shaking and baking and doing things. So
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, we appreciate that. Y'all perspectives are everything. It means a lot for y'all to be here. So again, we appreciate y'all for being here very much. Um, you know, Jamae, we appreciate you for
for
setting this
sure,
up, throwing that Hail Mary.
big
That's
dog. That's the
that's my
homie.
industry
Shout out
plant.
Jamae.
Yeah.
Industry plant. You can't just throw that around. They be throwing that. You can't just throw
People
allegations
I'm a,
believe
around.
that.
People be running with the plants.
Feel like I don't know. It's kind of inching closer to being right than wrong, but that's a little. I
I'm
don't know.
screaming.
I've been I've
We're
been
not
I've been
claiming it.
I've been calling her that for like a year now. So it's just
I'm weak.
we manifesting. Oh well, Kelsey, my I guess my first half statement, half question to you is, I mentioned in your blog your teammates.
Mhm.
Uh, just to go down some of the list of notable teammates you've had. You played with Cappy Pondexter, Renee Montgomery, Alyssa Thomas, Jazz Thomas, E. Will, Chelsea Gray, Courtney Williams, Rachel Banham, John Cole Jones, Asia, De'Erica, Kelsey, Kayla McBride, and I would not be surprised there are people I missed.
Mhm.
Um, what were your experiences like? Because a lot of these players you kind of seen in their earlier iterations. Some you kind of got on the latter half, but like, what was it like watching these players in this time period, especially like you got an early Alyssa, you got a early Jonquel Jones, you got a early Asia. That's 3 MVPs.
MVPs, yeah, absolutely.
What was kind of that like watching them and really just like seeing all these other players, the multiple time All-Stars, you got an early Chelsea Gray, a finals MVP. So
I'll actually start with this. Like, it's funny because the particular group of people that you just named, they're all my friends. Like, outside of them just being my teammates, those are people that like are truly my friends. So when we were teammates and throughout the course of time, we've kept friendships and we've gone on vacations together. We've, been in each other's homes. We know each other's families. And so for me, I'll start with Alyssa. It's really cool to see the type of player that Alyssa has blossomed into, because when she first came into the league, she was a guard. And that was on a team where Jasmine Thomas was our point guard. Alex Bentley was our 2. Alyssa was our 3. Shanae Ogumake was our 4, and I was the center. And it's so interesting to see how her kind of being able to move from being on the perimeter to what she is now today, where she's literally, we called her LeBron back then. Like, we always used to joke and say, I think Camille Little came up and we would call her LeBrona. Because she was one of those first players that you saw affecting the game at every level at her size. And so for her to now, I mean, people call her a power forward, but I really don't think she has a position, because she literally does everything on the basketball floor. And honestly, she's more of a point guard than anything at this point in her career. I've known Asia Wilson since she was in the 7th grade. When I first went to college, I went to South Carolina out of high school. And I remember when Asia came to camp as a 7th grader. She was this long, lanky kid who, was trying to figure out her body and her size and all of these things. And, we recruited her. I eventually transferred, but recruited her as well at Texas A&M. And so her rookie year in Vegas, it was always so interesting because this was a kid who had the weight of the world on her shoulders. And she didn't always feel comfortable with that crown on her head. And so to now see her 3 MVPs later, she's got a signature shoe. She's won championships, and she's now confident in who she is and what she brings to the table. And it's also unapologetic. I think a lot of times as Black women, especially in the WNBA, when you carry yourself a certain way, or you have a certain voice, or you stand for certain things, you're a lot of times forced or sometimes forced to be apologetic about who you are. And so to see Asia fully be herself and not, always kind of cry or get emotional, but to kind of channel that energy in another manner has been really cool to see, because young Black girls need that. Black women need to see that you can go into these spaces and be yourself and not have to apologize for it. And so, and to all the rest of them, I mean, they've all had these amazing careers, not only in the WNBA, but internationally. I think so many times international ball kind of gets this rap, but you also are able to do things there that you never dreamed about doing, on and off the basketball court. And so I think for all of them to go and grow and find their ways through a league that's not always as forgiving to Black women has been a really cool thing to see, because they've all carved their own little pieces and made their own way.
that is lovely. That is always great to hear. And then, Siobhan, uh, again, we highlighted your basketball knowledge and expertise and how you break the game down, and it's just so methodical. And one thing I appreciate, I feel like it's easy to, I feel like it's easy to understand. I feel like one of the hardest things about being like an expert at anything is being able to explain it and break it down to other people. But you do a really good job at that. Are there any like specific basketball experiences that kind of lean you more into that, or is that kind of how you've always looked at the game and that landscape, or is it a mix of both?
I I've always just really liked watching film. When I was in Lebanon, um, for whatever reason, there weren't like official stats kind of kept and like readily accessible. So I would have to like go back and watch my own things to kind of get my own stats and stuff. I would do that outside of kind of just wanting to see my numbers too. Like I do a lot of my own kind of like individual scouting, like away from my groups. And it's being able to kind of just watch, slow down, rewind, pause. It really, really, I don't know. I've always kind of gravitated towards it in that way. And then I have a science background, environmental science, biology concentration, but just all of the science disciplines. And to me, basketball is one of the most like beautiful manifestations of so many of the sciences, of your geometry, your trig, your physics. It's like some quantum physics in there, like the energy, just kind of it's I don't know. When I'm able to kind of geek out about it, I get like really excited, and I kind of have to rein myself in a little bit. And I thank you in the it being easy to understand. I think I can sometimes be a little bit wordy. My partner thinks I can be a little bit wordy sometimes, but I don't really care what she thinks. But I'm working on, kind of being, concise but easily digestible. I think a lot of times we feel the need to flex knowledge in a way that sounds like just overly verbose for no reason. We just want to be, academic and big wording it a lot. And I think, you can kind of you lose people. You lose people in the effectiveness of what it is that you're trying to get them to understand, right? Like a lot of kind of sets and things now are individual elements and mechanics on the floor, like a pin down or a rip through or this or that, and we've kind of like Spain, and we have this kind of overarching name for what is like two or three elements like of individual actions on the floor. And I think I think it's for me it's more effective to be able to get the people that I'm trying to get to hear me or whatever, to no, this is a pin down, this is this and that, rather than all of these kind of just the motifs and monikers we give it. But I just it's so fun to me. It's so pure when it's played well, subjective, but it's Jermaine's laughing, but I don't know. I really, really, really enjoy the element of film watching, and then being able to translate film watching into applicable areas of skill work and things to work on individually that in a real life and in real way translate to what it is that you're doing on the floor, and kind of where it is that you are going to get your primary and your secondary options based on play style, body competition, all of those different types of things. But I know it's such a beautiful thing to me, and I'm blessed that people receive it from me in the way, overwhelmingly, that people have told me that they receive it.
And then to both of y'all played overseas. Do y'all have any like least favorite overseas experiences? Like, or like, what are some of the things that you've really, Kelsey, you can kind of mention that you've been able to kind of see places and do things that you would not have been able to do otherwise. We talked to Elena Coach. I think she was playing in Italy at the time. She also kind of mentioned some of the places that she played and kind of those those life-changing experiences as well. So what has that been like, and is currently like for you both?
I think for me, my least favorite experiences are all the ones where I didn't get paid. I think a lot of times people don't realize, but you're not in America. The protections and the unions and all those things, those words on that little piece of paper mean very little to those people over there a lot of times culturally. And so I've been in quite a few situations in some countries where, money's a month or two late and they're giving me excuses. And I'm like, yeah, but where I live, it's on the first. Baby, I got to pay these bills on the first. And when I cannot give them any kind of excuses, they don't care about anything that you're telling me. I can't tell them that. But for me, on the flip side of that, I've seen the Sistine Chapel. I've stood in the Roman Colosseum. I've been to Jerusalem. I've been to Nazareth. I've seen Jesus' tomb. I've been all over China, but everywhere that you probably are supposed to go in China. I did not do the Great Wall or any of those things, but I have been a lot of places. By the time I was 23, I think I was on my second passport book, all because of an orange basketball. And that's not to say that like if I was doing something else, I wouldn't travel the world. But I'm doing this for free. Like I don't pay for me. Once the team gets me over there, then yeah, I get to move around and roam the country however I would like to. But this orange basketball has afforded me an opportunity to do a lot of different things. I mean, I because of basketball, when I was 16, my mom and I got on a plane and we flew to Paris for a basketball tournament. That was the first time my mom had ever been out of the country. And the first thing we did was my mom got to see the Eiffel Tower and she cried because I don't think my mom ever thought she would see the Eiffel Tower in real life. But a basketball afforded me that opportunity for my mom. And since, she's come to visit me places, my wife, when we were dating and I was playing in Israel, she got to come to Jerusalem with me and she's Catholic. So it kind of meant it was a deeper feeling for her. And so there are just, I'm intrigued by the younger generation, because in a world that gives you sports psychologists and all of these things, like basketball, like it saved my life. Like basketball has been and always will be the escape for me. But on the flip side of that, I now understand because with social media and all of these other things and the access that people now have to you while you're playing your sport, it now creates a whole nother set of problems. And so something that was once an escape now becomes a burden, just like everything else in the world. And so I just don't care. And I know that I'm probably a rare person, but I was raised that way. I've never cared about what other people thought about me. I've never cared about others' opinion of me because at the end of the day, every day I wake up and walk out of my house, I'm a 6'4", 200+ pound Black woman. Somebody's going to think something. Somebody's going to have a thought. They're going to stare. They're going to ask a question because my wife says it all the time. They just ain't never seen one of them before in real life. And I get that. And I've always been bigger and all of these things. And so for me, basketball really saved me. And basketball is still saving me to this day. And it's unfortunate that now a lot of players don't get that same kind of feeling and they don't have that same kind of affinity for the game. Especially with now, in college, you're getting paid and you start adding all these other layers to it. And something that started out as just like a game that you love, it turns into sometimes the worst thing in the world. And so for me, basketball will always be my first love. It'll always be the thing that not only changed my life, but saved my life and has impacted my entire family's life in a positive way.
Yeah, I don't. For the pros, I don't. My pros aren't too different. And I'll come back to that. The thing that I dislike most about, I guess, being overseas was my journey with like finding an agent, and and not finding an agent, finding a good agent, finding an agent that had my back, that was going to work for me, that I didn't feel like just another kind of, number in their corral, just like another group. I'm not, I don't have the name of some of these people. I don't, but and so because of that, I needed somebody who was going to be personal with me. And it took me, I think I went through 3 agents in 3 different seasons. And I so wish it hadn't been that way. Um, uh, I had one agent when I went and did a combine, and I did the combine because I just wanted to. I like physical displays in that way, and just wanting to be seen and stuff. And then by the time I got to Australia, it was my first country. By the time I left Australia, I had gone through a second one. And I'm not a difficult person. I'm not combative. I don't ask for a lot. I just read my emails, like respond to my emails. We talked about this 3 emails ago, and like it's just, I don't feel heard in that way. And you're over there and you need support. And so like the whole trip with agents was probably my least favorite thing. But my favorite thing, yeah, man, I'm really not too far off from everything that Kelsey said. Basketball has given me some of my most impactful relationships. From my best friend, that's my longest non-familiar relationship, to my partner today, and kind of everything kind of in between that. And I've played with some people. Me and E Will played on the same AAU team when I was younger. Shout out a kid named Jenny Sims. Her and I played the same AAU team. And then I've played against some of these people. I had at LaSalle, I'm undersized, and I went from like guarding. We played the Rutgers, the mid-major LaSalle us. We played the Betnaja, E. Will, Ka, Rachel Holloway Rutgers group. We saw yeah. I had to, like, I'm guarding Ka, and then like some games later we playing GW, so I'm guarding Jonquel, and they had a cat at the time too. Her name was Sierra Washington, slightly shorter than Jonquel, but more athletic. So that was like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? I get to Norfolk State, and I'm guarding, Tierra McCown when she was at Mississippi State, and then right next to her was Victoria Vivians. And so I'm trying to, and leading me kind of into my next point. Basketball has showed me a lot about myself. It's been the thing that's allowed me to selfishly just kind of lock in to me, and into my being, into my body, and my presence. I think a lot of times we are conditioned to feel negatively about pouring into ourselves in really, really, big ways. And for the longest, basketball was my built-in, not excuse, but just reason. Like I was able to kind of just be, in my body, and just be thankful for the places that, kind of is taking me to. Like I've driven back roads of Australia to Melbourne, and seen Sydney, and didn't really get a chance to explore Dubai, but I've been to Dubai. I had to go through Singapore for some things. Cyprus was beautiful. Beirut was gorgeous. I had a gorgeous place in Beirut. The place that I actually was staying at got caught up in the explosion in the Beirut harbor, and that kind of broke my heart. But just being able to kind of see so many places, and to Kelsey's point a little bit about like the ones now, they have so many, they have so much of kind of what we didn't have before. And I also think that in that same breath, it can strip them of so much of the process of enrichment that we kind of had to go through before. Also, just the ease with which they can do things, and don't paint, nobody the old and bitter. And yes, we always, want best and easier, for the next group and stuff. But I think we're kind of at a point now where we have to kind of get the pendulum somewhere back to a comfortable medium. And just making sure that, while these athletes have the things that they need and want and deserve, that we are also pouring into them as people and continuing to, make sure, we are enriching. But I am thankful for the journey that basketball has just kind of allowed me to take in all of the various different ways.
And to both of y'all points about how you talked about how like kind of the athletes are growing up and they're having more, but I think Kelsey made this point about like people have unparalleled access to these newer not even just athletes, just celebrities in general, because people are living their entire
to everybody.
Yeah,
like we
To
all have
everybody and
access. We all have
everything,
access to each other.
all
That
the
like
time.
yeah, like if you don't turn off the feature on Instagram, I can know when you were just on there, how long it's been since you've been on there, and why you're not answering my phone. Like it's just so much. Like I want to get a Nokia flip phone because like why? What?
Right,
Yeah.
like let's just go back to playing Snake.
Yeah, like and the battery fall out, and we have minutes after 9 because it's too much.
Yeah, I can't imagine like being well known as a basketball player in like middle school, high school, things like that, and then you get to college, and now with like sports betting and like you got people like mad at you when stuff don't go right, and it's like I have more amenities, but also I can imagine
It's like at what cost?
the mental strain is a little more
It's a
because
lot
it's
more.
like I can't get away from this when the game is over.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you like this. A few years ago, I was at my mom's house and I'd gotten some mail. And I opened the mail and it was from a fan. They'd sent me some playing cards and asked me to sign them and return them. This is not an abnormal piece of mail for me because when we in the league, but it comes to the gym. Okay, in the league, we get this all the time. You get mail like this all the time. You sign it, put it back in the envelope. You give it back to the people. They mail it out. Whatever.
Cute.
This was my mom's house. Like, how y'all know I live here?
How did you have this information?
Like, how did you?
Like, no.
How you know?
No.
How you know? How you know? Because if you mail this here, you could draw like. And my mama is like, these people know where I live? Because like I don't live here. But like you could come here looking for me and you're at my mom's house. And so now, fast forward how many every year since that took place, it's even worse. And I mean, I think the hard part is that it just doesn't, it never cuts off. It never stops. It never gets better. A lot of times it really only gets worse. I'll be honest. I was having this conversation at some point here recently. I tweeted something about something. Oh, the 94 feet, pick you up, guard you full court. I don't believe that means what y'all think. I don't think y'all understand that don't happen to everybody for a reason. But whatever. Okay, cool. A lot of hate came with that, right? You have to remember that I was the first player in the WNBA to kneel, okay? I never, and I mean ever, received the type of hate. Like I was a nigga, I was a dyke, I was a bitch. I was all things that I have, not only have I not ever been called them in my life, like, and I'm from Houston, Texas. I've never had anyone call me a nigga in that manner in my life. I've never been called a dyke. I've never. And so because I tweeted something that I didn't say a name in, sure, infer, think I'm talking about whoever you want to think I'm talking about. That's cool, whatever. The type of hate and just ridiculousness that came with that, I didn't get that when I was protesting the national anthem. Like that never happened, not in the WNBA space. That never, not at a game. No one ever booed me. No one, actually, more people patting me on the back than anything. And so we can play the game like it hasn't changed and like things aren't different, and we can use the slogans and say, let's protect the hate and all of that stuff. But at the same time, the rest of us are gonna have to adjust, right? Because it's not changing. It's being viewed as a necessity at this point. And we can say, well, it happens in the NBA and the men can take criticism. I don't know. Maybe call me crazy. I just don't think an orange basketball should allow for you to call me out of my name. I don't know. It can't mean that much to you.
Yeah. Why is it?
One of the things we talk about all the time is just because it happens in the NBA doesn't mean it's good. Like,
and you know what?
y'all are treating these grown men like this. That's also not okay. Y'all shouldn't treat them like this.
Russ and LeBron are gonna get you put out every time. They're going to get the security and they're gonna point. You can't call Russell Westbrook at any point and he hear you and you're not getting put out. It's not.
The thing that's like fascinating in a derogatory way to me is like, I made a TikTok about this because I'm like, you don't have to act like this. Like it's an active choice to behave this way. Yes. And I made a TikTok this, and like just the sheer amount of men in my comments that were just like, what has happened to the NBA? And like people should toughen up. And I'm like, you realize that like you're accepting bad behavior. Like you don't have to accept that. You could say, hey, no, ESPN, actually, I don't want Shannon Sharp or Stephen A. Smith to be up here. Sneak this in LeBron. Like I don't want to hear that in the conversations that we're supposed to be having about sports. Like I don't want
Skip Bayless was wrong. How Skip Bayless did LeBron for all those years.
Like this is not a conversation that we have to accept. We can say no. Like, and if we all say no, they will change.
They have to change. Things are only normalized when you let them become normal.
But that's the thing. Like, unfortunately, and I can say this because I know this to be true. Like, they're gonna always err on the side of the business. And they're going to always err on the side of what's making money. And that's subjective. That's not like, was the league not already trending in this direction already? Yes. Did Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese fast track that? Yes. Was the WNBA ready for that fast track? No. No one was. No one was. No, because no one saw it coming. Like even when you think about the year after the ring and that game, no one thought all of that was going to surge and happen like that. And so because you weren't ready, now we're just gonna act like it's not happening.
I had a tweet kind of about this, like, the W threw a party and invited all these niggas in here and didn't give nobody house rules. Now you just got people grinding their feet in the couch. It's people just all in the fridge. Just somebody stole my charger out the living room. It's a little bit disheartening because I challenge the nobody saw this just a little bit, because we kind of did. Like I feel like there needed to be more of a tapping into. I think that the W front office needs to grow. Like it's just understaffed. Everyone is stretched, but I think that there just needs to be, or needed to be, and hopefully we're past the worst of it. And again, to your point, we can pretend like the 2024, influx of just stuff wasn't some of the worst stuff that we have kind of seen in different areas of things. But it's like, I think pieces of that were brewing. And I think that there were ways to kind of be more intentional with like the tapping into what is happening in the NCAA women's basketball ecosystem, and kind of what that temperature is like, and forecasting and prognosticating, oh shit, maybe we need to have some, I don't know, some of these no place for hate, all of this. Like we should have been, even if it didn't occur at the magnitude that we maybe prepared for it, we should have, I think, been over prepared for kind of, because I think that there were signs, but you're not wrong in the ability for multiple of these things to be true, and we all know that. And I don't understand why we have to act like we can't. Yes, it was trending the way that it was trending before that. Did that group, is that an influx? Yes. Is it always a good thing? Again, subjective, right? You have all of these new eyes and all these new opinions and now we don't know who it is that who are we marketing to, who are we trying to cater to, and it's just they're not, we don't know, but it felt like a little bit of a, like, I don't know, it was such a shift in the normal operations of things. And so now I think that collectively everything, and then CBA and all of that stuff, it's just all feeling like a kind of stabilize, a reconfiguring, kind of catching our breath. And hopefully, the things are the things that they need to be forward.
Well, one of the things, and I've been sitting with this thought for a while, and I've wanted to tweet it, but I just haven't. So I'll say it here. I think one of the things that people don't realize. I think one of the things that people don't realize is that I was drafted in 2013. But I'm from Houston, and so big Comets fan, grew up going to games, grew up in the environment, always wanted to play in the WNBA, whatever. There was always a family environment, we all know each other. I would be at road games and there were fans that I knew. There are, Miss Valerie was a big time New York Liberty fan for years. She cute little ball fade haircut. She sat on the bench. Right on the baseline. Like, these people are my Facebook friends. Like, these people are family. Like, I know them. One of my best friends in the world was a fan. Like, and I met him through Renee Montgomery, living in Connecticut, kind of with the sun, that casino is kind of the only thing you can do. And so some kind of way, the year before I got there, Brian and Renee had become friends, and I ended up meeting Brian the next year when I got there, and, we're the best of friends. And so those days are over. Like, those days are over. I think even from a media standpoint, like, it was so easy for me. Like, you guys look at this as like you threw a Hail Mary for me to come on here and talk with you guys today. But like, why would it? Duh. Like, y'all asked. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, like, it's not. That's because that's what so many reporters that I met and interactions that I had with people who were just coming up, getting their feet wet, these were the people that were talking about us. So we knew them.
Built connections.
Yeah, like, it wasn't, and that's not to say that there wasn't criticism, and that's not to say that there weren't bad things that happened, but now it's like, it's gentrification, kind of, sort of, honestly. Like, we've all been in the neighborhood together. We've been one big happy family, and it's like one person sold their house, and then it trickled down, and now everybody's here. And like, we really don't know y'all. Like, we don't know y'all. Like, y'all are strangers, and y'all don't mean us any good. Like, some of y'all are here for bad. You didn't have that. You used to, like, in the WNBA, that was not the case. And so now it feels like everything else, which is what set it apart for so long. And I know all good things must come to an end. You know, you can't keep it and hide it and have it as yours forever. But like, y'all really just came to the house and then, like, it's a sign on the door say take your shoes off, and then nobody take their shoes off when they came
That's
to
what
my
I'm
house.
saying.
Yes.
I'm gonna send you the tweet, Kelsey. That's what I'm saying. Like, we just had everybody come in and ain't give nobody no rules, no guidelines, no who to talk to, how to behave, and it's a bunch of people who don't got no home training on their own.
Just in everyday life when they get up and go outside every day. And I'm gonna say this, like, I commend you because, like, no, I'm not explaining none of this to y'all, because here's the thing. I am a firm believer of this. I'm a firm believer of this. There are certain things in basketball, in sports, that you can't understand unless you do it. For example, what they do on a football field, I have no. They say they run plays out there, but I wouldn't know why they just don't run around the side and go. But they say because the people in the middle are doing a job, and they give me all these explanations. Yes,
they got
you gotta
screens in football too. It's rushing.
you got all this happening on a soccer field. I think they just chasing a ball. No, they say they out there doing some stuff. The same. So like, yes, there are some people, if you have a general basis of basketball, because people think like basketball is one of the only sports that you can just pull up to the gym and go hoop. Like, when you go play pickup at the gym and at 24, nobody out there calling horns. Nobody is out there saying, Spain, let's run America's timeout. What we gonna run to win the game at the buzzer? Nobody's doing that. Nobody. You just can pass somebody the ball and they can dribble 100 times and miss it. That's what happens. And so then now all of those people get to come on social media and say, well, you're not good at your job. Okay. But like, what do you do for a living? And can I come to your job? Like, I had a man, he's like the state legislator or something in DC, and my best friend was like, he worried about you and what Caitlin Clark doing, but like, why they raising our taxes? And I'm like, but like, what you gonna tell me? This is proof that no matter how long you play basketball, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you in the state legislature slut, because I don't know what y'all do. I mean, I paid attention in social studies, but like, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't care, and I'm not telling you that you do your job bad. So why do you think? Because he looked like 5'2" in his profile picture. Like, why do you think at 5'2" you could tell me anything? They pick you last when you go to. I know they pick you last. So like, what is that? And it's one of those things where, like, as athletes, it's the only job in the world where people think like, I could do that. And I could talk to you any kind of way and criticize you because I pay for your salary when I buy a ticket.
Yep.
And you know, I'm glad you said that, because I just tweeted the other day that so many people think that because you paid for something, it like gives you like this level of entitlement. It's like it does not. It does not. You paying for the ticket gives you nothing but the ability to watch.
Sweetie, they have already told y'all that of ticket sales, whatever that little 9% is, it ain't much. So like, y'all don't have that much of a right.
Child, you are absolutely right. So it is the only profession where people feel like they can do it. And even in other stuff, so like your doctor, they might give you a prescription and stuff, and maybe you don't take it, but you don't think that you can pick that scalpel up and go crack that chest open.
Because imagine being chest wide open heart surgery, and then some people talking about boo. What you think your doctor gonna do? Put your lung where your heart's supposed to be and put your heart in your ass. That's what's gonna happen. So like, I get so confused by it, because like, and here's the best part about it. Like, I mean, as close to 100% as you can get without it being 100% of the women in the WNBA have a degree.
Yeah.
Y'all are also not talking to or dealing with women who are uneducated. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, but like multiple degrees and all of the things. Like, and we know society has a problem with educated women, especially educated Black women, and especially Black women who are at the top of their game. And so it becomes this thing where it's like, we have now decided the CCC is the biggest problem in basketball, right? But I disagree.
Some other ones creeping up.
Woo! I think we have, and I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna preface this by saying I have a 23-year-old brother. Okay, I believe that this generation lives in a state of delusion. I believe that social media, in the year 2000, when we went from 99, how old are y'all?
I'm 27.
28.
Come on, Jermaine.
37.
I'm 27. I'm 27.
Okay. So maybe y'all remember this. I don't know. But when we went from 99 to 2000, the slogan was like, don't believe after we realized that the world wasn't going to end, we started saying, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Yes. Basic internet safety.
Yes.
We got to bring that back. We gotta
And with that, I'm blaming the shade room.
The shade room. Facebook.
Let me tell you something. The things that the people on Facebook say, Angel Reese say, I be like, wow. Like to the point.
Made that up.
To the point where I'm like, I be picking up my phone like, no, baby, sis didn't say that. She did not say she make $1,400. No, because she makes more than that. She didn't say that.
When ESPN posted that thing the other day that she was like, Angel was talking about the Philly baseball player or something, and it's like, why did y'all think that these things correlated? Oh, Angel probably don't even know who that is.
She said, I don't know who this is.
She said, are y'all crazy? Like, I don't even know.
But I think your point about accessibility really like hit the nail on the head as far as why people feel like they can talk about it the way they do. I think there's a certain level of respect with like, I mean, you got football where you got these 300-pound people smashing each other and people be like, I don't want to do that. And like,
they don't just go to the field and they put a flag on when they go play football for fun outside on Thanksgiving. Yeah.
And then, you go kick that ball around, but you're not running up and down a full soccer pitch.
And then with baseball, it's people understand like hitting a baseball is arguably one of the hardest things you can do, if not the hardest. And
that's why they sit in that stadium and they cheer when it happens and they hush when it doesn't.
But with basketball,
hand-eye coordination,
everyone feels like because you can just go to a court and do it. Like these people that are either struggling or not as good as they could be or not as good as they should be, all they have to do is do. Like when people talk about people not making free throws, it's like, why are you missing free throws? They're free. And it's like, well, when you shoot free throws in your empty gym, no one is saying anything to you. But I cannot imagine the things that people are saying to these athletes when they're at the free throw line in these high stakes situations. And then I feel like people think it's even easier with the W because it's women and especially Black women. So they like, you hear all these people being like, oh, an average high school team beat a WNBA team. And it's like, hold on now. Let's we're going too far now. We're just saying things. Like they practice with college players and G League players. So like I don't know where you're getting this information from.
I've made grown men cry. I'm not gonna say their names, but I have made grown men cry just from a hit.
Listen. When this pod over, names.
Like
I would take some names.
And I don't mean from a standpoint of like we were just out there hooping, playing one-on-one, because that's not my speed. I don't do that. But like in a workout, in the post, just a hit and finishing, like I like, and you know, all the talk about can a woman be the NBA player? It's one of them I can beat. I don't know. Out of all of them that's in there, it's one of them. Yes. Yeah. It may not be Bam. Okay.
Asia knocking down maybe 7 to 11 of y'all at least. I just feel.
You don't think it's one of them? No, I don't. Hey, maybe you don't. Maybe you can't. But it's over 400 of them, and I promise you I'm not taking 400 L's. I'm not. So, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's always had an opinion. It's just now we get to hear everybody's. And, like, and here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with y'all. A couple years, maybe around, like, COVID 2020, I went through this thing where I was, like, feeling the type of way about not playing in the WNBA. And I had to go through my own little journey with all the things that led to that, right? Cool. And I literally muted, unfollowed, blocked everything and anybody that was associated with the WNBA, right? And then, because I didn't want to see that shit. That's how I felt about it at the time. And then over the course of the years, I opened that door back up and I was over. Once I was over it, I was over it. Don't take me long. I welcomed it back into my space because I was in a different place with it and I wasn't concerned with that anymore. I'm headed back there. I'm headed back there pretty soon because I don't like, y'all really think Candace Nicole Parker? Like, I wear number 3, okay? So, boom. Boom.
Same. What's
boom,
up?
Okay? Like,
same.
We think the lady who was the MVP and the Rookie of the Year while pregnant a little bit right there at the end is jealous or clout chasing or any of those things. Now, let me say this. A lot of things now in this world can be true at once. Mm-hmm. I've seen people say, well, how many times does she have to say it? I've seen people say, well, y'all keep talking about it. So she gonna keep talking about it?
You know, and I'm glad you brought that up because this shit been pissing me off all day. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I've been thinking about it all day. Since I left work early because I was like, this shit can't be real. Like, niggas cannot be saying Candace Nicole Parker is just
That's what we're doing.
And you know what? I was trying to get over it, and then my homegirl, she sent me this TikTok of this girl comparing Angel's year 2 versus Candace Parker year 2.
I saw that.
And I was like,
I saw that too.
Baby, Candace Parker in year 2 was on an all defensive team and an all W team. And no, this is not shade to Angel, but is she gonna make one? Like, that's debatable. Like, that is debatable. That's a thing that might not even happen.
And this is the part. This is the part I don't like, because this is what it forces us to do. Because it's not really about Angel. Like, it's not the comparison game. But it forces you to then go down that rabbit hole. And now we're pitting these two against each other. And the thing is this.
And y'all are... Oh, go ahead.
And I'm going to be honest with you. I only had one problem with the whole video. Aaliyah Boston was clearly uncomfortable. Like... Yeah. She was kind of like, hi, we doing this right now? Okay. Ooh.
And she was like, she said, wait for the responses because I'm not going to give you one.
Yeah, because like it's not gonna come from me. And like for me,
it's not coming from me. You tried it, sis. You set me up. I'm not doing
I think that's gonna be because like Angel's podcast is not about basketball in real life. But that's gonna be the slippery slope with this one because Aaliyah's gonna find herself on the tail end of things that are worse, like than she already goes through. Because like I don't know what she be doing to the girls, but like they get to tussling. It's very specific. Like I've played against Tina Charles.
It'd be some extra smoke.
Yeah, like I've played against Tina Charles forever. I've never seen Tina Charles react or do something like that on the basketball court ever. And I'm a very physical player and I used to get under Tina's skin, but she couldn't. but she ain't never tried to lay me down or nothing like that because I ain't going.
She had Camilla. She had Camilla by her collar. I'm like, oh my God, Tina, put that baby
the
down.
the young girls are, hey, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't. Candace is talking about it because it's being talked about. Candace, the same way people are saying, well, Angel spoke about Caitlyn on her first podcast. Well, yeah, because they're forever locked in and tied and intertwined with each other.
Yep.
Candace is using something that is being talked about and that her name is tied to and being mentioned in. So she's going to make sure she gets her cut too.
And she was asked the question. She was asked the question and given a finite list. It was not go through the 150 of the W, right, and put them in your specified order. She also asked the
question that didn't nobody answer. In all the responses that I've seen about this video, nobody said who on this list are you taking.
And it doesn't.
And this, I think the origin of it is even crazier because that tier list shit. I literally watched it today, and they can timestamp when I watched that shit because I texted them immediately. That video is 2 minutes and 30 seconds, literally 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Candace Parker talks about each player for 20 seconds, and she doesn't say anything negative about them, right? Like, she has not said a single negative thing about them. But y'all took her saying, oh, well, I don't consider Angel option 1 or option 2, and her greatest skill is offensive rebounding, and turned that into an insult. It's like, that's not an insult. Like, it's really not. She's on a bad team right now. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know where she's gonna go in her career. So, like, why are we acting like everybody 2 weeks ago was saying me bounds, it was cute, it was fun. But Candace Parker say, oh, well, her shit is offensive rebounding, and everybody's like, no, she shouldn't.
You can't. And Candace Parker is the archetype of the most central and important position in North American basketball on the men and the women's side. Like what she and is there space to maybe hypothesize that her and everyone, Kelsey, like her and everyone else before the group and the league where it is now, is there space to those people should have had the things that they should have had and yes, maybe wish but you can isolate a feeling of we were underserved when we were doing it, but I'm happy that they have their things now. I don't understand why we can't hold space for the possibility of that to be a thing away from one of the basketball minds, one of the voices giving an objective and an honest to her, and objective and subjective. It's not nasty. It wasn't rude. It wasn't diminishing, and it's so interesting. I think people pick and choose when it is. Oh, it's just the internet. It's just internet shit. This is only, these things only matter online. Online ain't real. I have been victim to the way that people will just go and lie and just make up and these things it's unfortunate that some of this malarkey can seep into like real life locker rooms, front offices, situation, conversation, all of this stuff like that. But to act as if it doesn't, and like it's so insidious. It's such, again, a disruption to just kind of the order. You got people now afraid to like post pictures. You got, I think about, it's so crazy. I think about Tyler and the position of, I have coached Asia, I have coached Candace Parker. I know these women, and he now I'm coaching Angel. I know Kawhi. But I'm keeping it right kind of in this triad. I have seen Asia work. I have seen Candace work in the latter part of kind of her career, and here I am, the leader of this group with Angel Reese, who these are her ceilings. These are and I'm having to deal with all of this noise, and my one of my star players fans got I like that man probably feel like he can't even post pictures with Candace jersey retirement coming up, and now this idea of all this fucking tension. This man got to deal with fandom civil war within his own locker room. You got Angel fans and Kamilla fans, and I'm like, oh my god, it's all just. I don't even know how I got here. I think I'm kind of just rambling.
Well,
but like,
listen, that's what we do on this podcast. It's okay.
Well, but that's the thing,
it's
though.
Okay.
Like, and I'm glad you said this, like, because this kind of brings me to how we came about in doing this. Like,
yeah,
we're talking about young players, okay? Yeah. And my wife is a college coach. And because I'm gone 6 months out of the year, whatever, when I'm home in the summers, I go with her recruiting a lot of times. And so I still get to see the high school kids play. And so I get to see our game at all of its levels. We're in trouble. We've
been in trouble for a minute.
Yes,
and I don't know who we got to get in the roots. There has to be,
and that's where the problem has started. No, like, we got to get back. And the problem is that money ruins all things. Yeah. And so now that people know that I can charge $5,000 for a couple of months of basketball, plus you're gonna still have to pay for all that extra stuff, I'm gonna do that. And if you know how to dribble 3 basketballs when we done, but you can't make a layup, I did my job.
Yep.
That's where we are.
We're losing guard arms. Everything is a scoop. Everything is from. I'm like, bro, we're not
losing just a right hand layup. Like,
we're losing right hand. We're losing left hand layup.
We're losing chest passes. We're losing how to nobody's thumbs are down. Nobody's thumbs are down.
Just chin the ball.
They don't wear 2 pairs of socks no more. They wear their basketball shoes outside. They don't change their clothes after they wet. They don't have a change of clothes in their bag.
They walk in the gym in the shoes, bro. What are we doing?
It's a lot to it. And so this is the God's honest truth. The WNBA is doing what the NBA has started to do, and we're about to see an uptick in the international pool.
Yeah,
they love France. Oh my God, they just can't even. I don't know what this iPad is doing. Sorry, they just love France, and they just we okay and great. I mean, cool, whatever. That sounds great, but like. Because I'm still playing, I have the luxury of playing with a lot of players, a lot of different ages. Sometimes we're mad because certain players don't make a roster or don't get they can't stick or they can't figure it out.
Right.
They don't know, they can't retain plays. And like the first thing you realize when you get to the professional level is the playbook doubles. They don't know simple transitional defensive principles. They don't know. And
that one baby got online and told us, like, and I couldn't imagine letting this be known, but like that, not knowing terms, just like and everybody, there are some things that everybody kind of might have their own little nomenclature for, but like general and basic principles and concepts, you're absolutely right.
No, like I don't mean this in a bad way, but like a few years ago, I played with a national champion point guard. Okay. And one of her first questions to me was like, we got to remember all these plays. I said, well, we don't, but you do. Like, I don't know. No, we don't. You do. Like, what you mean? yeah, not only do we have to remember these, but it's like 20 more coming. Like, we not even halfway through. What you mean? You the point guard. What you mean? The point guard? That's like me saying, do I gotta make a drop step? Like, duh. Like, do I have to get a rebound? Yeah. And so here's what I'll tell you. A lot of times, no, most of the times,
I'm weak.
there's development that has lacked at each step. Like, I'll be honest, I was the 5th pick. I remember calling my mama and I was like, hey, you remember all those people that were like, I can get you ready for the next level? They were liars. Can't nobody get you ready for this, but this. It's nothing that, like, and let me say this. Playing in the WNBA is one thing and playing overseas is another thing, because it's a little bit different when everybody on the floor is an American, okay? The speed, the level, the pace, if you can't keep up and you're not ready for that, it's alarming, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you can't half step in the WNBA. Usually, I mean, and it's more spots now, but whatever. It's less than 200 spots. So, like, it's the best 200 we got to offer for not all cases, but in most cases. So, what happens is that you've got to go somewhere and you've got to figure out how to be a pro. College doesn't always do it. And I grew up playing in women's leagues and playing against grown women and all of that stuff. And I still, and for me, it wasn't necessarily a skill issue. It was more so like, when I got drafted, Bill wanted me to be a 4. I didn't want to do that. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't want to be a 4 in the WNBA. That shit's hard. Like, I remember the first game I started, Bill's like, all right, Bone, Planet's hurt, whatever, you starting at the 4 tonight. I'm like, we really doing this? He like, and you going Tina Thompson.
Now you raggedy hoe.
She's my favorite player ever. What do you mean I'm guarding Tina Thompson? Like, what? I'm going. So I call my mama. I'm like, I'm getting cut. They are sick. I can't guard this late. What do you mean? This is my first start, and it's against Tina fucking Thompson. So
Yeah.
now I've known Tina. Like, I remember the first time I met Tina, it was in Walgreens. She was buying some lipstick. Like, that's a real thing that happened to me in Houston. She was standing in the now she may not have been buying lipstick, but she was standing in the makeup aisle, and me and my mama walked into Walgreens, and there she was. And then later in life, her son and I worked out with John Lucas together. So, like, I know Tina. But, like, not on no basketball court. I've only ever just watched her do that. We get to the circle. She's like, what's up, Kels? Bitch, don't what's up, Kels me. Because, like, did they say you gonna guard me too? Because, like, what's happening here? Like,
this is a cross match.
What's happening here? And so it took me to go overseas and play against people like, and I mean, I still was all rookie team and all of that stuff, but like, I didn't know what I was doing that first year in New York. And I was lucky because I had people like Taj McWilliams Franklin and Barbara Ferris who were my coaches. Delisha Milton Jones was my vet. Katie Smith was my vet. Cheryl Ford was in training camp with us. She was my vet. Planette Pearson, Cappy Pondexter. I played with the Detroit Shop. All right, cool. Basically. So I had all of these people who guided me and held my hand through that. And so when I got overseas and I played EuroLeague and I played in Turkey that first year, that enabled me to come back to the league because I was able to get my feet under me. I was able to figure some things out. I was able to learn how to use my body against grown women because the position I play and the way I play it is so physical that I had to kind of relearn some things at the pro pace, right? And so I did that, went back to the league, played in Connecticut, new coach. We were trying to figure it out. We were sorry, whatever. Went back overseas, Turkey, EuroLeague again, come back next year, all-star. And so for me, everybody is now like, because so many people misunderstood that going overseas was just about money. Like it wasn't all that was a big part of it. Don't get me wrong. Like I made more in a month my first year overseas than I made the whole WNBA season my rookie year. Like after they took them taxes, I made more each month than they was paying me in the WNBA. However, the benefits of that were so much more than money. And so now we have AU, we have Unrivaled, we have these things that we're trying to create to stop players from having to go overseas, right? But all they're getting is money. Like Angel got lucky. Her luckiness is Courtney Vandersloot's ACL. Because if Courtney does not get hurt, Angel is not used in the way that she is being used currently. Correct. And the reason that Angel has so easily transitioned into this role is for two things. You said this. Coming out of high school, Angel was a guard. She was not a post player. She was a guard. That's number one. And number two, she just spent the offseason in AU playing just like this. This is how she played in AU. She got to bring. I'm sorry. Yes, Unrivaled. Yeah. Sorry. This is how she just got to finish playing in Unrivaled in the open court 3-on-3 setting. Okay. Camilla's situation is different. It's completely different. It's night and it's always been night and day. They are not the same.
Apples and watermelons.
I'm gonna tell you. People try to say it was like Tim Duncan and David Robinson. It can be, it could be, maybe, but it's not. Like we keep trying to look for what it could be or how it could be or other ways in which it's worked. And it's really, really simple. Nobody that be talking about Kamilla, they don't know what it's like to be 6'7". They have no idea what that feels like. And to do it on a basketball court where most of the time the people you're playing against not 6'7" either. Okay?
Average height. Like 6'2".
It's simple, like it should be simple, but it's not simple because people, again, if you've never had to do it, you don't understand it. When you look at the way that South Carolina plays and what Kamilla was able to do there and what was needed of her, you would know that, well, yeah, it's some growth there for the next level. That's not to say that Kamilla is not going to one day be a dominant post player in the WNBA. Is she that now? No. And that's we expected that. I think that's the part that is so insane to me. Like we were excited, like everybody lost their shit when Kamilla hit that 3. And now y'all telling me she needs to go play. That was the one. And now y'all wanted to go be a guard. I mean, because we also spent Unrivaled talking about how it was not beneficial to the likes of the Brittany Greiners and the Stephanie Dolsons and here's the thing.
Boston. She got here's the thing.
No, but even Aaliyah's different too.
Because Aaliyah's problem has always been shape.
She's not a shape.
Aaliyah's problem has always been that when she left from the WNBA, she went to be a commentator. And when she came back last season, Aaliyah was not in shape. Aaliyah's problem ain't never been no skill. That's not her problem. Her problem was because you got to think about it. The college season is the exact flip of the WNBA season. You go from playing 8 months out of the year to 4. And now you sit 8 months and then you think you're just going to wake up and say, hey, body, let's go play at a high level. That's not.
It's just not realistic.
Asia does it. But Asia's got the LeBron connect. And like Asia's spending money on her body. And like
her body.
I'm going to go overseas because I'm not paying $1 million for my body. So I'm going to go play overseas so I can just make some money and come on back home. But that's not everybody's reality. And so I think that we spend so much time like everybody want to argue, and everybody like I will say that when this conversation started, I was very appreciative of it because like I felt like, well, at least you still can have a conversation on this app and not get cussed out and not get called all kind of names. You just got to pick and choose who you talk about. You can't talk about everybody.
Yeah,
and I
think it's very pick your battle.
Yeah, it's absolutely very, and unfortunately, like you say, like I just want to talk about basketball. I don't want to win a popularity. I don't care who your favorite player is. I don't care.
And you don't know who mine is, so stop assuming.
I don't care, and like, because mine is better. Like you're not gonna convince me that yours is better. So like we don't have to like, and it's. I've decided a few things. Like I don't argue about Beyonce. I don't argue about Asia Wilson anymore. I don't argue about Bluebell ice cream being the best ice cream in the world. Like it's some things in this life that I know you're never gonna change my mind about. So we don't gotta. You're not gonna get the argument out of me. I don't care what you're talking about because like. I don't care. I don't like, and I think people, because of social media and everybody has a keyboard and everybody can hide behind a keyboard, I think people get into these spaces where they just want to argue. And it's like,
they really do.
You better call your mama. Like, you need to go touch grass. You need to go get some friends. Like, y'all.
No, I think we are beyond touching grass. We need to disrobe somewhere privately and like go lay in the grass. I need you to like really, really ground in.
We need the oil, the altar and the oils. Like,
it's like you said, the accessibility, and then everybody wants to feel like they know something or put on like they know something, and folks will learn 2-3 phrases and just get out and start trying to diagram and prognosticate and just
do y'all work? That's what I've been wanting to ask. Does your boss know that this is what you talk?
We're arguing about, and then people are. So we're gonna sit here and act like Unrivaled hasn't helped a great deal of people. But none of these people are built like Kamilla, have Kamilla's skill set. You talking about people like Rakia and Fee and maybe Asatu. Kai was in and out, but Kelsey, Skylar. We're talking about so many other archetypes, and you want Kamilla to be 6'7" to go. One, not
positioning,
able to go work on child to not even be able to get any of the experience in Arrival because of the challenges in the play style. And should she, so you want her to get this low post seal in a situation that does not mimic anything about what the rest of her work and her business and life in the W is about to be. Please get out of my face. Everybody is so, but you're not wrong though, in that was a conversation that had happened, and a bunch of people chimed in. You need a bunch of but like it's also exhausting. It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate because again, like. I don't know that it changes or there's a fix to it. Like, I think, again, I'm a big person. Like, I'm big on being able to pivot. Like, you always got to be able to pivot. You can't never travel. You got to always keep that pivot foot, and you have to always be able to adjust. Because there's no one, it's not stopping. Like, I think the craziest thing to me is that, like, they've really given us the play in our face. Like, well, Larry Bird and Magic saved the NBA. It was real racism going on back then, though.
Kathy got on them news channels and said, "Go racism." She said, "This is the playbook. This is the model. This is what makes the." And again, it's at what cost? Why are we so willing to all growth? Ain't, in my opinion, all growth ain't good growth.
Talk about it. But that's because of our president. Look at who our president is. We have made hate hate wins. Like, bring it back. Like, I read an article the other day. The people in Arkansas say the whites only town. Like, it's happening. And I'm gonna say this. I now live in Michigan.
Oh, you're not far.
The racism up here, like, I ain't never seen nothing like this before in my life. And I'm from Texas. Like, oh, y'all don't like black people for real up here. Like, no. Y'all, whoa, it's really the skin color that gets you. Okay, got it. And like, before we moved here, we were in Colorado, and before that, we were in Beaumont. Like, if you know anything about Beaumont, Texas, very sundown town, Orange, Viter, all at Jasper, that's all right there. And like, So when, yeah, like I was in Ohio a couple weeks ago, and I was like, whoa, for real? I didn't know. Like, I don't know what I thought was going on in the Midwest, but like I didn't know it was this. Like you can feel it. It like,
yeah.
You can see it in their eyes when they look at you.
On your, you feel it in the air. I be having to drive to Indiana for work.
Yeah. No, like I went to get some balloons at Michael's the other day, blown up, and the lady was like, it was animosity, and I was like, yes, ma'am. Cause like, what's wrong with you? And then because I'm Southern and that's just natural for me, then it's like she kind of calmed down. Well, I should have called you a bitch then, cause like, what's wrong? Like, what's wrong with you?
It's an insane, like, as someone who like went to school in Indiana, like small town Indiana, like, it's a very like, we do not know black people. Like, I literally had classmates be like, you are the very first black person I've ever hung out with. Like, and you cool as hell. And I'm like, that's strange to say. I know you mean that lightheartedly, but that's crazy.
Leave the and you cool as hell part off. Just say the first part, child.
Yeah, like you didn't have to add that part. Like,
I'm not an ER, huh? Not a hard one, huh?
Right.
But it's very like, we don't really know what's finna happen next. So it's like, okay, well, everybody be cool. We gonna be cool.
Well, and that's the thing. We've tapped, like, I thought I knew what racism was, but like we've tapped into some stuff that like we don't see in the Bible Belt. Like,
slurs are being invented that have never been cast before.
Not about no basketball. Like, we just said about basketball.
I don't even know how do you have the imagination to string together like all of these different that's real creative of you.
Oh, if white people good at anything, it's desserts and slurs. Dear Lord,
right? Their favorite one is like, well, I had to Google you to find out who you were. And you could.
But you could, right? But you got results then, you ho.
What's your
name? My name is the same across every platform. I don't know what it's right there.
Hey, Pauline. Pauline, what's your last name? Let me type this in Google and let me see what comes up for you, Pauline.
3675.
What? And then they always, well, you know, I could have gone pro too, but you didn't. And that's why you mad now. That's why you on here calling people out their name and being all extra. Well, who are you? Who? Somebody said when I tweeted something about the Connecticut Sun coach, a man that I have played for in the last year. Okay, and I said that and I meant that. Okay, I'm not coming back off of that. I meant that because, well, I said that. Whatever. Somebody was like, I just wish you would shut up. Why do you? Okay, so you get to talk about it, but I don't. Like, I'm literally speaking about something that I have actually experienced. I'm not guessing. I'm not watching something and making an assumption. Like, I'm literally saying, like, he's not the best personality for a locker room like the Connecticut Sun, well, a WNBA locker room in general. You have to be very confident in yourself. You have to be very, you know what's going on. And he's not that. I'm not talking about his X's and O's and whether or not he's a good coach or a bad coach. What I'm saying is your teams take on the personality of their head coach. And that team is not as bad as they sometimes look, but a lot of it has to do with the fact that the person, there's no fire and no passion sometimes there. Whatever. But you want me to shut up so you can talk? But why does what you say matter? Because you just buy a ticket and go to the games. And I don't know. I don't know how.
Maybe you do that. Maybe you do that much.
You're right.
They probably don't. There are literally people who be arguing about development who don't know what a chess pass is. Don't piss me off. I've seen you.
And there'll also be people who will be like, such and such is doing this with this player because someone who went to the game said that. How do you we're playing telephone with niggas who went to the game.
It's like the girl that was like, Angel Reese got a back brace on.
Please, girl! Oh, it made me so bad! That is so dangerous. The bitch said hyper ice.
and it's what you said. I saw your tweet today about the guy who was saying that Alyssa hyped the crowd up or told him to keep going. You can edit that.
You had an hour to edit that.
Nah, he was crazy because like in his reply, every time he replied to somebody, when they would be like, "Yeah, that's not too sably," he would be like, "Yeah, but Alyssa Thomas was doing that over there, like so she was doing it," and it's like, well, that's not what your video presented. So like that's your
work. So the words shouldn't present that.
It's your fault.
You tweeted that at 6:13, which was when DeWanna entered the game at 7:02. Whatever that interaction on the bench was happened at 1:56 left in the first, like 15 other minutes later. You got caught or you didn't. Either way, you had an hour to tweet. I don't.
I saw it early, and one of his first responses was like, well, no, but yeah, that is tattoo, but Alyssa started doing it after I stopped recording.
Yeah.
Is it so? Yeah. So if your camera ain't picking up, I'm not trying to hear it.
Why are we talking about
it? Actually, I don't care either way. So
piss me off, man. What?
But I know you want to interact.
No, that back brace
off though, because it's like both of y'all are journalists. Like both of y'all are trying to call yourself media members, so you should have some level of integrity. If I even make a typo and it start getting too many likes, I might delete that bitch because I don't really want that to represent me. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
Listen, I might be piecewise dyslexic. I really might need to go talk to. I be transposing letters, fine, cool, whatever. But if it's something important and before it takes off, I don't care to delete stuff. Like what? I don't understand. Well, it's already got traction, yeah, bitch, but it was a lie. Like it's not the truth. I got a third.
Well, and I wanna say that leads me to this because as someone I have a minor in communications. Bring back real journalism. Like we gotta the little everybody go on GoDaddy and create them a little username and start a newsletter. I don't know. We gotta bring back real journalism because like at this point it's too much. Like
or even with my partner. So Supriya, she's very intelligent. Her thing is like, okay, so one, yes, we need to bring back real journalism, but while we work on that, how about we have like different tiers of credentials? You are a full-on journalist, you with legacy media, cool, you got the whole thing. You are some social media influence, cool. There's a place for you in our ecosystem. Yeah, I want you around. Granted, you're vetted and you do good stuff, but you don't need to be in the locker rooms. You don't need to be in the press. Like you
have to give. Like if you're working on a special type of story, then yeah, and you need to come back on a case by case. But and it's unfortunate because there was a time where that didn't matter. Like everybody was back there. That's the sad part. Like, but things change, and that's what I mean about having to grow with it. Like you can't just alienate a big group because social media now it's either gonna be important or it's not. So you do need a lane for your bloggers and your vloggers and your people who do this and your people who do that. And it's a way.
Yeah.
for everybody to eat. And my last thing, because I always say this about the WNBA. The WNBA is probably one of the only professional leagues who continues to hire and employ a commissioner without a sports background. I'm not going to say it got to be a man. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I am saying is that we keep having women commissioners with business backgrounds, and it keeps not working. And at some point, we're going to, Val Ackerman and the Donna Orrington early days are over. At some point, we're going to have to find someone who has a grasp on the business that sports becomes.
Is.
And is. Yes. We're going to have to find not just the business part, because the sports part matters. You can't go get the Girl Scout lady and the Coke lady and the Deloitte lady back to back to back, and we still have all the same problems. At some point, we are going to, and I used to always think, like, when I first got into the league and you go around the everybody in the executive office and everything, I'm like, it's so many women in here. Oh my God, we're all women. Like, we need another voice. Like, we need somebody who's seen something else, who knows something a little bit different. Probably never gonna happen. I'm not gonna say never, but I don't know that that'll happen, right? But it's something that we've got to think about, because on the women's side, the sports part matters. It matters. It matters. And you can't, and the NBA had to grow, and it had to start somewhere, and it had to build from something and become something else. But like, at some point, someone's gonna have to mesh the sports and the business part and make it one, and stop just trying to act like this is just a business entity, because they playing basketball. The basketball is what makes this matter. And so I don't know, because then you don't have to worry about the gimmicks. You don't need this extra stuff, because you have substance. You're for real. You're able to legitimize your entity in other ways, as opposed to alienating and ostracizing people and players and fans and families and all of those things, because it's the hottest ticket in town, but it's like, ooh, everything that comes with it is just like, you can have my tickets, girl. It's okay. I'll watch it on TV. Like, it's one of those things. Like, I was in Indianapolis, and my wife was like, "You gonna go watch Colson play?" No, I'm not going in that arena. I would never go in there. I don't want to go in there, because I can't imagine. I can't imagine the things I would hear sitting. Now, I'm good. I don't want to know what that feels like and what that's like, because,
girl, and then they lie to you and tell you it's not happening.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening. I know people who are there, who are in it. It's happening, and it's disgusting. Sure. It's disgusting, and it's unfortunate, because sometimes you just gotta say, because it's more places to do this. Like, this how y'all want to act? Oh, but I get it. Everybody's not there. Everybody's not on that page. But like, something's gonna have to change, because it's just not. It's no longer realistic, and everybody could say what they want to say about how it happens in the NBA, but it ain't realistic. They don't like it either. They're putting their foots down, and they're saying stuff about it. So like,
they don't like it, and there's so many more of them. It's less concentrated, so it's still loud, it's still irritating, and some of that shit still shouldn't be happening. But You're able to kind of spread it out across double the amount of teams, right? And again, from everything that you have described, and from what we have known it to be externally, it's always been this much more tightly knit kind of biome ecosystem, but like, it's just, it's always been more intimate over here than it has been over there. And so even with the marrying the sport and the business, at some point too, we got to drill down to, okay, yeah, it is the sport is basketball, marrying the business. Some of what we let fly in the NBA business sport wise, we can't, it's not one-to-one application of things. And I'm not the person to tell you how to fix it, what those things are, but it's it's glaring that there needs to be just more individuation and just specializing. What does this pool of athletes and all that they make up, what do they need? Yes, we have guidelines, we have models and stuff that we can kind of look to. Shit, we can look to the National Women's Soccer League. And what they are doing. We have other ways and means through which kind of to guide us. But we do have to get to the specificity of what we are, and
maybe you be using them words, don't you?
That degree, come on, no.
I thought I used them, but baby, you just taught me a few. You done put a few up here on me. The sciences, yeah, you done put a few up here on me.
Listen, the sciences is science is basketball has always been 1A, but science I used to wake up, I was watching all the nature documentaries. I used to waste toilet paper because I would just make fake casts. Like I really was going to do kinesiology too.
You was a little nerd. Yeah. What position did you play? Like you were a guard?
No, I played 3 through 5. I was a guard when I was little. I got to high school and I was fake tall, and then I was just there. So when I got to school, I'm 6 even, but I'm going from guarding Kalia to guarding Tierra McCown, and it took way too long for me to get with someone who I felt like had the right type of vision for me. And by that time, I came too late to really wanting to push and maximize myself. And by that time, my trainer, guy that I was really close with, he passed, and then I kind of just like, but yeah, 3 through 5 in school, trying to be a tweener. We're doing guard post, right?
You doing
guard
both?
Post. Yeah, it's 20-minute guard post. I would start the first 10 minutes with the post, and I would go do the last 10 minutes with the guards.
That makes sense. I was usually guards are the filmers, the IQers, but when you have to play the multiple positions, and when you said that you used it to do your own scouts away, it makes sense because when you overseas and you got to play a big post, I mean, when you have to kind of experience different types of things in different settings, you're kind of on your own a lot of times. So that makes sense. That's why I wanted to know that. That makes sense. That makes sense. This was fun. This was really fun.
Y'all are amazing.
We got to do this more often.
No, fast. This game is so beautiful, and it's given like it's so. I could genuinely like when you were talking about all the places that you've been, like shit like that, like choked me up. Like this thing is really is like that, and we gotta really kind of like Candace was right. Like there was a time where and I think we're still kind of in it. Like it's had to have been protected and safeguarded so much that like now now how can we merge into talking like, hey, that was a bad pass, that was a stupid pass, like stuff like how can we actually get to kind of talk about the meat of it, but like well,
I think unfortunately we won't ever get to just hoops talk because I'm gonna be honest with you, like as a player and a person, like I don't know how some of these players allow some of this stuff to be associated with their names. Like it just wouldn't be me. You couldn't speak about me in this manner and say you're a fan of mine. Like I mean be a fan.
You can't speak about me, not my teammates. Depending on you can't talk about my.
It's a lot to it that I would have to come out and say something about.
Girl, shout out Niara Sabli. Niara did it flat. Like, look, if you my fan, you ain't gonna be too many more of you speaking in my name against. Like,
And that's, I don't know that. Well, I don't know. We may not. I don't know, but it's one of those things where we do, as a basketball community. I don't know. Do you make a hit list and you block it? I'm a big blocker. Like I'll block you because I don't have. You're not. I pay this phone bill. You're not going to stress me out on nothing I pay for. So like I'll just block you and move on with my life and never speak to you again. But like we do, like, and we also have to understand that like everything does not deserve a response.
Yeah.
And we don't got to argue with them either. We don't have to. They not gonna see our point. So you don't have to spend these 8 tweets telling these people what's wrong with them, because they just like, I'm not gonna change my mind. They're not gonna change their mind either. And so we have to do a better job of moving amongst each other and finding like minds and like spaces and just moving in those spaces. Can't step over there. Those are not our kind of people.
Yeah.
They're just
all
not.
that bad faith, all that you're intentionally all right. I don't have okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you 1 to maybe 3 tweets of trying to, and then I'm out of there. Like,
it's like, to me, it's like the swings of like the extremes of like you're really good one day and it's like really bad one day. Like if I see somebody tweeting like that, you absolutely mute it, girl, because you not finna stress me out. The Dallas Wings have been bad all year, Mookie. They're not getting that much better. I need you to be cool with that. I just need I need you to be cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's like every game doesn't have to be a referendum on this player's career.
The exact word.
Or
yes.
Like where, like, oh, if it was like, oh, she got until if she still looked like this at the end of August, I'm through with her. It's like, okay, but like growth is not linear. So,
and we talk about 2nd and 3rd year players who are still like Kelsey, the speed. First, I now have to get used to how fast everything around me is moving. And now I also probably have to speed up my own bodily systems and functions and like all of this. And that shit don't just happen in one season by and large. People are nuts. Like,
I don't think people
COVID and social media have really, really taken a toll. I'm dead at scientifically. COVID has really, people walking around with 5, 6, 7 infections and the brain rot. Like it's so much.
I don't think people realize how much like context and situations really affect play styles, careers, things like that. Like you got, obviously this is like
who are your coaches?
Situation.
Like
your coaches.
like
you got Kayla Thornton as a first-time All-Star past 30. Like, and it's not that she's never been good. It's just this is her first time really getting this much opportunity after being a role player for so long.
Absolutely.
And like your career is never over until it's over. You don't know what. I mean, even on the NBA side, you had Steve Nash win back-to-back MVPs after he was supposed to be past his prime. Like, like Jay said, these 1 or 2 games, hell, even the 1 or 2 seasons is not what your career is going to be.
Listen.
And I think the biggest like epidemic for that is with coaches. Because Kelsey, like you were saying, you have personally played under Connecticut's coach, so you kind of understand what he's like in the locker room. I think people make a lot of judgments on coaches, and a lot of the stuff that involve, at least to me, I feel like a lot of the stuff that goes into a coach's job is entirely away from the 40-minute game. Like once the game starts, all they
that's
can
the
do
easy part.
All they could do is be like, hey, go here, and just yell. But like if y'all don't execute, that's not. But people don't know. Y'all don't know what goes on in practices. Y'all don't know what goes on in like films. Y'all don't know what goes on the bus. Y'all don't know anything about what they're showing them. So like, how do y'all know whether this coach is good or not? Y'all don't know. Y'all see the team is bad, and y'all like, well, the coach has to be bad because the team is bad.
You don't even know.
That's not.
We're not able to identify what we're watching. I saw somebody say, talking about Chicago, somebody was like, I'm convinced at this point when we win, it's just one of the players have balled out. Tyler has done nothing to put nobody. I'm like, but that's not how that. Like,
you can't say that. Sorry, it's not how it goes. It's not realistic.
Not how that
and
works.
It's virtually impossible for that to be the case. Actually,
that is not how that happens.
And also to that, I feel like we give. Yeah, I feel like the same way younger players deserve grace, I feel like young coaches deserve grace. Like I always feel like
everybody deserves grace, not just. I don't. I think you have to also remember this. All of these people have lives. They are all living this same fucked up ass American dream that the rest of us are living. Okay, they still gotta go pay for this high ass gas. They still see these $5 eggs for a dozen of eggs. They are still going through all of these things. Yeah. Some days you may get a game where we throw it off the shot clock. We're human. Like it doesn't matter if you're a vet or a rookie. You're gonna have that's just the way that it goes. The ball swings that way. They're not all going in. That's the beauty. It used to be a beauty in getting to the next game and getting over the hump. Like I've been there 2 for 15 and you just shoot layups, girl. So like where you throwing it? Like why it's not going in? Like I'm not shooting no threes or nothing, but like
where are you throwing?
I'm having a day. And next game I'm gonna be so much better and I'm gonna get it all back and it's gonna be yay. But like it's like everybody got to be perfect and nobody's perfect in nothing. Like nobody's perfect at their job. Nobody's perfect in their lives. And it's like, we all just want a little grace. Like whether it's DeWanna Bonner, who's in whatever year she's in, or it's Angel Reese, who's in year 2. Everybody is going to have a bad game. But like you said, like, one bad game is that's it. I only get one. Like, oof.
It'd be worse because it'd be players who like we talked about this before. People were talking about JJ Quinerly. JJ Quinerly has been playing great, like for majority of this season. She got insert and started like been balling. It was one game she was like 3 for 12 or some shit. And they was like, see, this is why she don't need to start lineup. She's not that good. But she's taking reps from Paige. And it's like, I waited so long for her to fuck up to be able to say this.
Nah, she missed a couple shots and then they was like, oh, why is this 3rd round pick getting all these minutes? And it's like, y'all, wait a minute now. Like when the like she a 3rd round she just a 3rd round pick now that the shot's not going in.
Right.
On the spot,
also, do y'all forget?
Like, don't play with my girl.
Also, did y'all forget the guard that y'all was supposed to have is out for the season? Like, y'all have players that are being put into positions that was not promised to them at the start of the season because of so many different situations
that they've never been asked to do before.
Jobs never asked to do.
Atkins is a point guard. Like, we did not need that. Like, it's a lot.
I got people talking to me about Rachel Banham. I'm like, you better be lucky Rachel Banham's on this goddamn team.
Play with Rachel Banham. What Rachel Banham is doing right now is incredible. Let me just say that.
Okay? She's balling.
What Rachel is doing, what Rachel is being asked to do, and wow.
And she's doing it.
Hey, listen, we love Big Lotto over here.
Taking the top off the three. She's placing these her chemistry with Camilla's gorgeous. She has great touch. She got great ball placement. She's working on how to move her body.
She was that at Minnesota. She was a well-rounded bucket at Minnesota. She just got to the league and they turned into a shooter in Connecticut. But like Rachel, and just to be asked to do that at this point in her career and be able to do it is the most impressive part, because she hasn't had to do that in a very long ever in the WNBA.
Oh well, she can't guard. Okay, well now because now you're asking.
You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
You are doing. It's one thing to be able. Okay, so I can transition into this pseudo playmaker. Da 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 da. But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm still lined up across from Kelsey Mitchell's and all the other ones and twos. And now we get into team defensive concept and kind of all of this other stuff. Right. But you asking me for a lot, and I'm giving you a lot. You better cool off. Like, shut
you
up.
think I'm gonna do all that and go get a stop? Hold on now. Somebody else got to do something out here. Okay. All right. I'm not doing everything. I'm not doing it all.
Child, I could do this forever.
This was amazing. I mean,
this was great.
We just gotta hop on again at some point. It's nothing to me.
How cathartic.
I'm going to be overseas, so y'all, anytime y'all need me, I'll be around. Bored.
Y'all are more than welcome to join us. Y'all are more than welcome to join us whenever y'all want. Whenever.
We be just shooting the shit. It's like, you know.
No. It's the same thing as Twitter, no typing.
We literally just be talking.
Yeah. They're the best ones. Those are literally the best ones.
The best ones. I do need to go eat something though.
You gonna stay the line? Not Jay. Don.
You. Yes. You.
Wait, why can't Jay say his line first?
Go ahead and say your line, Jay.
All right, I'll say it. All hearts and minds are clear. I think we good.
Okay. Well, this has been another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don.
I'm Jamae.
I'm Jay Trent.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Siobhan.